Good morning, Warriors. Your boy Garrett J. White, the Master Coach Mentor, coming at you from CrossFit Ethos in Ladera Ranch, California, with your daily wake up WOD of the day, waking your mind up to live and have life the Warriors way, embody being balanced in business. We call having it all. Now, if you haven't downloaded the Wake Up Warrior app in the iTunes or Google Play Store for free, what the hell? I know you've been watching these videos over and over and over again. Get your ass on over to the iTunes or Google Play Store and download the Wake Up Warrior app for free under Wake Up Warrior. 100% of the content, 100% of the time, on demand from the palm of your hand. WM3 Radio, Wake Up TV, Daily Rant, Daily WOD, Sunday Sermon, Warrior Woman Radio, you name it, you got it all right there, empowering you to be more, do more, and suck less. Today's principle comes down to this, and that is your endurance sets the standard for your excellence and your legacy long term. It doesn't matter if you can create some big ass results for a weekend. The question is, can you fucking keep them for a lifetime? Sit back and relax and welcome to today's Wake Up WOD. Okay, so let's go through our warm-up for the day, my friends. Dynamic warm-up. This pretty much means badass. Junkyard dog warm-up. I don't even know if we did that, but if we did, it was badass. Then we moved into our skill work for the day. Skill work for the day was a high hang power snatch, 5x3 at 50%. Now, you're going to sit and look as I work on a skill set of this, understanding that my snatch has improved, yet at this point it is still quite disastrous. Here we go, all 5 rounds.
Dips forward, chest up, don't do that. Yep, up. Better. Drop a little bit lower. Push, come on. Lift back to lower. Yes. Better.
Okay, once we wrapped that up, we got into the workout of the day, which was a 20-minute AMRAP. As many reps or rounds as possible. 12 deadlifts, 9 hang power snatch, 6 overhead squats. Weight for guys, 75 pounds. Weight for girls, 55 pounds. Now, that weight may sound light, and when you're doing this shit round after round after round for 20 minutes, I can promise you it's the furthest thing from light. Let me demo the movements. Here we go. $13 rounds plus 12 reps on the deadlift.
This entire video series here is set up to teach you what I call the Warrior's Way. And what is this? Well, it's a process of going from feeling alone to being a leader. This video series is not for the faint of heart. It's not for the weak-based individual. It's not for the pussies who are unwilling to look at their lives, who it is for. It's for guys who are trying to have it all.
Okay, so today's workout was a burner. And it absolutely had to do with this principle we call endurance, and how endurance itself, without it, you ain't gonna have much for long. With it, you're gonna build an empire and a legacy in every single aspect of your life. Now, it's interesting, this conversation of endurance, because we have to define what exactly the hell we're talking about here with endurance. Endurance is your capacity to do work over time. See, it's not just your capacity. It's not just your capacity to do work. It's your capacity to do work over long durations of time. Now, endurance itself also comes down to a mindset. It comes down to the way that you see things. When I was in high school, I remember endurance to me was the cross-country team. These guys would run like 3 or 4 miles, and I was like, holy shit, what are you, Martians? Are you freaking crazy? We'd be at track practice in high school and in college, and we'd be running like 400 meters, 800 meters to maybe a mile. And I was like, holy shit, that's a long distance. We even called it in track, long distance was anything 800 meters or longer. And hell, we wanted to throw all the 400 meter people in there. Then I got into marathons. And holy shit, my whole perception of endurance changed. Then I got into Ironman. And my whole perception of endurance changed again. And then I got into ultra marathons, running 100 miles, 150 miles, 188-mile races, solo by yourself in the mountains through trails. And my perception of endurance changed incredibly. Being injured, having gotten cancer, lost all the teeth in my lower mandible, have to wear a denture, big, huge scars, have my whole jaw taken out, plates put in, all of that shit. Injuries in my Achilles tendon, right there. Injuries on my hips, injuries in life. Well, all of this has taught me the power of endurance. Now, you might be able to show up in a relationship for like a weekend, right? This is why dating, relationships, and shows like The Bachelor are such fucking bullshit. Because anybody can be a hero and a rock star and a romantic badass for 6 months or 3 months sitting on a tropical island. Every relationship is highly romantic until you start smelling each other farting. You start getting the body odor. You start seeing all the annoying habits that you ignored when you were first dating. And now that you're married, you're looking at each other and you're going, holy shit, who's this strange person that I married who's not at all like I remember dating? Well, 2 things happen in that relationship. The first thing that happened in that relationship is these qualities that this person had as your spouse, they were always fucking there. But you chose not to look at them. You saw something else. Secondly, over time, everything becomes a little bit more annoying. For example, when I'm running in long distance races, really long distance races, something right here, like a little hot spot on my foot, not going to be a big deal at 5 miles. Not going to be a big deal at 10 miles. Probably not going to be a big deal at 30 miles, but at 42 miles, when that hot spot turns into skin ripping off the bottom of your foot, by mile 50, you're totally fucked. You can't even walk anymore, let alone run for the next 40 miles. So small things over time start to have a big impact, both directions. See, your endurance is going to deal with what are the small things that have to be eliminated or caution taken care of in order for you to continue to sustain the game. The second thing we've got to look at are what are the habits that we've got to entertain in order to have endurance, in order to win the game. Let's give you an example of what I'm talking about here. If I'm working out and doing workouts 4, 5, 6 days a week, one of the big things about endurance training is not having to get injured. If you get injured, you are fucked. If you get injured, your body is jacked and your training goes to hell in a handbasket. Injury in marriage, injury in relationships, injury in business. See, one of the problems that we have is that endurance itself is not about hitting home runs every day. Endurance is about hitting singles every day. But if you are in a game in which you feel like you got to hit home runs every day, you increase your risk of injury. If you feel like you got to change your marriage in 1 weekend, if you feel like you've got to change your entire marketing strategy in 1 week, if you feel like you've got to start from scratch and go to complete dominating guru in less than 3 or 4 weeks, you're in trouble. Most of the biggest things in your life aren't going to come about overnight. They're not going to come about over a weekend. They're not going to come about over a year. The biggest change in your life going to come from a consistent daily effort of swinging singles. Now in the Warriors way, in the Warrior movement, we call this simple success swinging singles. See, you can get up and you can hit a single every single day. You can get up and hit a single, get up and hit a single, get up and hit a single. See, my body, my life, everything about my marriage and my business has been built to swing singles. I'm not the strongest guy in snatch. I'm not the strongest guy in overhead squat. I'm not the strongest guy in back squats. But I can hold my own and put general basic weight on there, and I can fucking go for a long ass time and not slow down. I train my body and my mind, in my marriage, in my business, in my life, to build a vision for what I wanted way over there, and to recognize that the greatest leaders in our lives, the greatest leaders who have ever lived, have not been people who won home run derbies weekend after weekend. They were people who were able to sustain the game. They were able to play the game for decades at a time. Now, my first marriage was a big, huge fucking train wreck. Ended in divorce, big, huge bonfire, mostly because I was an idiot. Second relationship, my marriage was headed that direction. And then one day I woke up and I thought, man, if I want to have a relationship that's on fire, a marriage that's beautiful, if I want to have a family where my kids actually love me and want to give me hugs and want to connect with me, if I want to bring about that reality in my life, I've been a douchebag for quite a long time. Which means if I'm going to pull this off, I need to give myself some time to do this, and I need to do it in a way that as I build the foundation, I don't lose everything I've built. Most of the way I went about building stuff in the past was not like this at all. I would build something, it would work for a while, I'd get so excited about it working that I would hurry and run forward and try to create something new without stabilizing the game that I already built. Hence, everything I was doing was taking 2 steps forward and 3 steps back. And then I was like, dude, this is a big waste of time. It's like, all this gives me is like temporary highs, like hitting up on heroin or smoking weed. It's temporary. You might feel good for a moment, but the reality is long term, this isn't reality. It's not life. It's a fucking dream world. So if you want to be in reality, I thought, well, I'm going to have to start figuring out how to bring the game back down to what Buddha called Dharma, which was this middle path, what Jesus called the straight and narrow gate, which ultimately was about me coming back and saying, okay, what are the simple steps that I can take today in order to dominate in every single way? One of the ways that I'm going to have you consider that you can pull this off is with meditation. Meditation has started changing my world. People are like, dude, you're a crazy man. I was like, I know. You should have seen me before meditation. Meditation every single day for 20 minutes using the Warrior's way of ascension has given me space. That space itself has given me patience. That patience has given me endurance. Endurance to do these videos for you every day. Endurance to build my business every single day. Endurance to hit CrossFit every single day. Endurance to train for Ironman every single day. Endurance to be patient as my children don't listen to me, but as they grow every single day. Endurance to be in my question about God and spirituality and know that I'm not going to have all the answers today. To be patient in the way that my family is raised. To be patient in the way that my life is lived. And to simply wake up every single day and say, you know what? My goal today is not to win some big ass belt. It's not to win some big heavyweight title that I can put on the shelf. And for the next 35 years, I can look back and tell everybody, hey, I used to fucking be somebody. My goal is to be able to be somebody every single day. So if the game that you've been playing in your life about hitting these big ass home runs isn't working, if the game you've been playing in your life has been about being a collegiate sprinter and not an endurance athlete, I'm going to have you consider that as cool as Usain Bolt is, you might want to try on the Kenyan way of building some long ass endurance in the way that you live your life. Either way, I want you to remember, Warrior, that the choice is always yours. This is the coolest part about being a human being. At the end of the day, you can try to blame somebody else, blame your wife, blame the government, blame the president, blame your trainer, blame me, blame your kids, blame your parents, blame the fucking dog. And it won't matter. At the end of the day, you're going to lay your head down on your pillow. And the only person responsible for the fucking results in your life is you. There is nobody else to blame. There is no one else who will take credit. And though you may attempt all day long to be the scapegoat and pass that fucking buck on to somebody else, you and I both know the truth. When you lay down tonight, you'll either have been a big-ass pussy today or you've been a big-ass player. And the only person responsible for that choice comes down to you. Either way, I wish you the best in your decision. And remind you that here in a modern-day game, as a modern-day man, as a modern-day warrior, the power comes down to the simple formula of authenticity. Be real, get raw, and stay relevant with a ruthless commitment to creating big-ass results today.